Morning students, nice to meet you again, after a long time. So this time I will be taking anatomy and physiology classes. So my topic which I am going to handle is central nervous system. So daily one topic I will post. Make sure that you go through and study well. Okay, if you have any doubts you can get back to me, you can ask. So with the class I will be sending the notes. So don't miss the notes, you write, take time to prepare and be ready for the next topic. Okay, so this book is actually very easy for you, and this is more than enough. So much if you remember, that's more than enough for your exam. Okay, so my topic, as I told you, I'm going to deal about central nervous system. Okay, so when we say central nervous system, under that the nervous system is actually classified into two types. That is central nervous system, which forms the brain and the spinal cord. Next you have peripheral nervous system, which includes cranial nerves, spinal nerves and ANS. ANS means autonomic nervous system. So nervous system is broadly classified into two, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So when I say central nervous system, it forms the brain and the spinal cord, and you have peripheral nervous system, which includes three: cranial nerves, spinal nerves and autonomic nervous system or ANS. Okay, so when you are writing in exam, you cannot use abbreviation, write it full: autonomic nervous system. Okay, so today's class we will deal with brain. What is the structure of the brain and what are the functions of the brain? Okay, so when we say brain, it is the part of central nervous system which lies within the cranial cavity. What is cranial cavity? This whole skull. Okay, so this is called as cranium, the skull. So it is inside of the cranium. Okay, so the skull. Okay, so the bone, the skull. Okay, so where is the brain? It is the part of central nervous system which lies means kahan hai. Okay, so where is it located? So it lies within the cranial cavity. Okay, then it consists of following parts. So when you say brain, this brain has got all these parts. They are cerebrum, which are made of two cerebral hemisphere. So just imagine this is the brain. Okay, so you have two parts, which is the cerebrum. We call that as cerebrum. So here in the diagram, you can see, okay, cerebrum made of two cerebral hemisphere. Then you have cerebellum. Okay, you have cerebellum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata. Okay, so I repeat. So it is cerebrum, cerebellum, midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. So when we say cerebrum, it is made of two cerebral hemispheres. Then you have cerebellum, you have midbrain, you have pons, you have medulla oblongata. So when we say midbrain, then pons, P-O-N-S, pons, medulla oblongata, these three structure, it forms the brain stem. From the mid of the brain, pons, okay, then medulla oblongata that you have. So medulla oblongata is the part which comes down of the brain. Okay, so you have midbrain, mid of the brain, then pons, medulla oblongata. Okay, all these three forms the structures of the brain stem. Okay, you should know that. So you have cerebrum, cerebellum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata. We have studied medulla oblongata before also. I hope you remember vital signs. Respiration center is medulla oblongata. Okay, so what are the five structures? Cerebrum, cerebellum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata. And these three structure, that is the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, forms the brain stem. Okay, today we will be seeing about cerebrum. We will see what is cerebrum. Okay, so cerebrum, when we say, it is the largest part of the brain. Okay, so this is the largest part of the brain, and then parts of cerebellum. They mainly consist of two hemisphere, that is two parts, okay, in the cerebrum. As I told you, it is a, brain is like this, right? Okay, so when you say the brain, the main part is cerebrum, and that is divided into two hemisphere. Okay, so it is the largest part of brain. It consists of two hemispheres, namely right and left hemisphere. Okay, so you have on the right side, we call that as right hemisphere. On the left, we call that as left hemisphere. Okay, so here in the diagram, you can see, okay, the brain. This is the cerebrum and right hemisphere, left hemisphere. Okay, two parts when it is divided into two, and you can see this, right? Midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. So this forms the brain stem. Okay. Okay, then you have cerebrum consists of two hemispheres, namely right and left hemisphere. These two hemispheres are separated, and again these two hemispheres are separated by falx cerebri, F-A-L-X, falx cerebri, C-E-R-E-B-R-I, C-E-R-E-B-R-I, okay, falx cerebri. And what is this? This is a fold of dura mater in the midline. So you can see that there is a separation between the right hemisphere and left hemisphere, okay, and this line which divides is called as falxi cerebri, a fold of dura mater. Okay, dura mater is again the covering of the brain. Okay, it is a fold of dura mater in the midline. Secondly, it is corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. This corpus callosum is a bridge of white matter below. Okay, so this is actually found, in the white matter, bridge of the white matter. We will study what is grey matter and white matter. Okay, just remember that there are two matter, which is grey matter and white matter. This corpus callosum is a bridge. It is a bridge of white matter below. Okay, just remember that. Now, this two, falxi cerebri, corpus callosum, it is dividing the two hemisphere, that is the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. Okay, next we will go on to lobes. So far we have seen what is nervous system constitutes. It constitutes of two systems, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Then brain is a part of central nervous system. Then we have seen what are the parts of the brain, that is the cerebrum, cerebellum, midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. Midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata forms the brain stem. Okay, and cerebrum we have seen that it is the largest part of the brain. It has two hemisphere, right and left, and this is separated by falx cerebri and corpus callosum. Okay, please study the spelling properly. See the notes and write down and practice the spelling. Next we will go to lobes. Under lobes you have frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe. Very important. Frontal lobe of the brain, temporal lobe, parietal lobe and occipital lobe. So there are mainly four lobes. Okay, so you should remember frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital lobe. Okay, so in the diagram you can see here frontal lobe, parietal lobe, and then you have occipital lobe. Okay, and then you have the frontal lobe. So diagram showing different parts of the brain. There is a diagram. I will post one more diagram also. Okay, so it will be easy. I'll just Google up and see which is appropriate, so you can practice that brain structure also. Okay, so next we will go to fissures. So in the brain you have fissures, F-I-S-S-U-R-E-S, fissures. What are these fissures? So the surface of the hemisphere have some fissures. Okay, fissures means like foldings. Okay, on the brain if you have seen. Okay, all these are fissures what you see, the foldings. Okay, the curves. Okay, what you see are called fissures, that curves. Okay, so these fissures are found where? On the upper part of the hemisphere, upper hemisphere of the cerebrum. Okay, so the surface of hemispheres have some fissures. The four important fissures are, so in the fissures also there are four types, that is central sulcus, parieto-occipital sulcus, calloso-marginal fissure Sylvian fissure. Okay, so there are four important fissures. They are central sulcus, SULCUS, central sulcus, parieto-occipito sulcus. Okay, it combines parietal and occipital. That's why it is parieto-occipital sulcus. Calasso, CALLASO, calasso, marginal fissure, and Sylvian fissure, SYLVIAN, Sylvian fissure. Okay, so now you see in the fissures there are four types. Okay, next we will go to grey matter. Next we will see the two matter. Okay, so grey matter first. What is grey matter? It consists of nerve cells which constitute the surface of hemisphere. So when we say this grey matter, in this grey matter only there are nerve cells. Okay, and which constitutes the surface of hemisphere. So this is also found on the surface of the hemisphere and which has the nerve cells. It is also called as cerebral cortex. So this grey matter is also called as cerebral cortex. It contains a number of folds or convolutions. These convolutions are separated by fissures described above. Already we have seen fissures which are folds, right? So this cortex, okay, it contains a number of folds or convolutions, and these convolutions are separated by fissures. So that is about grey matter. So it consists of nerve cells which constitute the surface of hemisphere. It is also called as cerebral cortex. It contains a number of folds or convolutions. These convolutions are separated by fissures. Next we will see what is white matter. So white matter, it is present in the interior of the hemisphere. So that is on the upper part, and this is of the inner side, okay, interior, inside of the hemisphere. It contains nerve fibers. White matter contains nerve fibers, grey matter contains nerve cells. Okay, next we will go to functions of cerebrum. So we will see what are the various functions of cerebrum. So it helps in motor functions like control of voluntary movements. So all movements of the body, walking, jumping or skipping, and then, running, all these are voluntary movements which are motor functions. Running, jumping, skipping, all these are motor functions like control of voluntary movements. Next you have sensory functions. First one is motor functions, movement mainly. So next is sensory functions. So when we say sensory functions, it includes analysis of touch, temperature, pain, pressure, shape, etc. So there is analysis of touch, temperature, pain, pressure, shape, etc. Next is governing of conditional reflexes. Thirdly, control of intelligence, speech, memory, etc. through higher centers of cerebrum. So summarizing sensory function, it helps in touch, temperature, pain, pressure, shape, etc. Then governing conditional reflexes. Okay, and then it helps us to know the reflex. Okay, and then control of intelligence, speech, memory, etc. through higher centers of cerebrum. So these are the functions of cerebrum. So mainly two functions, motor functions and sensory functions. So these functions are governed by two parts of the cerebral cortex, namely. So in this function there are two parts that is involved of the brain, of the cerebrum, that is motor cortex and sensory cortex. The central sulcus divides the cerebral cortex to form two types. Okay, two parts. Again this sulcus, what we see, the central sulcus, which is the fissure. Okay, it is one of the fissure. So this fissure, it divides the cerebral cortex to form two parts. That is the motor cortex and sensory cortex, and these are motor functions and for sensory functions. Okay, so the parts of the cerebrum, okay, we see that it is governed by two parts of the cerebral cortex, these functions, that is motor cortex and sensory cortex. And what divides them? It is the central sulcus which divides the cerebral cortex to form two parts. So first one is motor cortex. So it lies in front of the central sulcus. So in the diagram you can see there is central, motor, this central sulcus. So in front of the central sulcus only this motor cortex is there. The motor cortex, already as we have seen, it controls the voluntary movements of the body. Okay, the controlling areas are arranged from above downwards. That is, it takes feet, lower limb, hip, trunk, arms and head in that order. So it starts from the feet, okay, feet, lower limbs, hip, trunk, arms and head in that order. So it is responsible for all the movements, motor movements of the body. Next we will see sensory cortex. It is behind the central sulcus. So in this central sulcus, front is the motor sulcus and behind is the sensory cortex. Okay, it deals with sensation like touch, pressure, temperature, etc., reflexes. So when somebody touches, immediately reflex goes to the brain, right, and we understand that somebody is touching. Okay, so those are reflexes which are given by the cells. Okay, it is behind the central sulcus. It deals with sensation like touch, pressure, temperature, etc. Okay, so this is all with cerebrum. So in this video we have seen what are the two systems that comes under nervous system. Then we have seen brain and then cerebrum. What are the parts, lobes, fissures, what is grey matter, what is white matter, functions of cerebrum. Then under that motor cortex and sensory cortex. So with this I am stopping. Okay, go through it with the diagram.